Ooh, ooh. Let me know when you're ready. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready. My bad. I thought the music was playing, y'all. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready, babe. I don't know if you can hear me or not, child. Let me know when you're ready. Can you hear me? I don't know if he can hear me, y'all. Can you hear me?
I wasn't ready, but I was still I could hear you.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't know if you could hear me or not, so.
I just don't like that song. It makes my balls ache. I wasn't gonna come on while the song was on.
You wasn't gonna come on with what?
That song.
Why?
Because I hate it.
Oh, okay, fine. Then don't come on. Hey, what's up, Trish? Hey, Reese's Pieces. Hey, little baby. How y'all doing? All right, you can come on now. The song is over, sir. The song is over.
Okay.
What you eating? What you eating? Double crunch. Okay. Is that different from a single crunch?
Well, the ruffles are thicker. Like ruffle have the ridges are thicker.
Oh, like
Normally
they
they
like
have the
really
little
deep, like they're like deep
the
way.
shoulder
Okay,
tail.
yeah. I do not like ripple chips. That's not my thing. Well, that's not true. That's a lie. I just told it. I just told a fib. It depends on the style. Anyway, neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. What's up, Tommy? Hey, boo.
Your phone is making your watch your camera because it's making that noise
It's
a little
making a
bit.
noise now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Hold on, y'all.
I did it. I made $60,000 in 1 month from selling.
Oh boy. Y'all see how she got me on this live, right?
Is it better?
Promoting her channel and put her cash app up,
Is it better?
using me for her cash. Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I'm on your channel, you got your whole cash app rolling at the bottom of the screen.
And I'm
So,
supposed to.
I'm supposed to. Anyway, moving
You
on.
are. I'm supposed to be me and talk about it.
I'm not doing this with you. Can y'all hear me? Is the feedback now? We good?
It's better.
What's up, loving my peace? Okay, thanks, Ebs. Thank you. So we are here, you guys. It is the season finale of Insecure. I invited El Ted to come through. Because I was watching his review today and I had some stuff to say. And I was like, you know what? Let me see if you want to talk live so we can talk about it together. Because some stuff I agree with, some stuff I disagree with, but that ain't nothing new, right? Y'all expect that from us. That there's some things we agree with, some things we don't agree with. If we agreed on everything, we would be boring.
Let me
So
translate. There are times when I'm right and times when she's wrong, and then there's times when she's more wrong.
the sad thing is that you really believe that. That's the sad part. The sad part is that you truly believe that you're never wrong. That's the sad part.
When you're right as much as I am, you don't have to brag about it.
But you do all the time. Yet you do all the time. Moving on.
I
So
don't argue.
this
I
was season four.
argue.
This was season.
Argue.
4 of Insecure. Of course, much anticipated with everything going on with Issa Rae's career. It already got pushed back. So we were all anticipating it. We had to wait longer than normal. But they did give us 2 extra episodes. I guess that was their way of compensating for it. We had 10 episodes instead of 8. So let's go back to the beginning of the season. We left off last year with
What up, Jonathan? What's good, Fi?
Right. So we can argue about it on live. Yeah. So we started this season off with, we're counting down to the block party that was like the big brainchild of Issa last season, right? Issa was starting to find herself. She had gone through the whole losing her job, getting into the car accident, living with the dude, and all that other bullshit. She got an apartment, she got her own place, all that good stuff. What were your, like, what did you anticipate this season being about? Like, did you see the Lawrence, like, did you see that coming, or did you think they were really just going to continue to just, you're a proud member of the Lawrence Hive, so did you see
Proud member of the Lawrence
I know
Hive.
So did you see the Lawrence hook coming?
Like, I think they had to, it was, Lawrence was going to be with somebody. I think you were not going to have Lawrence not with anybody, and you were not going to have Lawrence back with Issa. Not at the beginning of the season. So the question just simply was, who was Lawrence going to be? Was Lawrence going to either be with somebody, or was he just going to be banging out somebody's back and just being a whole ass whore?
Oops, I hit the button.
So we know he has experience being a whole ass whore.
Well, I think both of them have experience in that department. They have both had their whoredom moments, you know. So I didn't see it. I really didn't. And this is how I feel that the show is going to end. I feel like the show is going to end with them getting married, but I did not see them bringing the 2 of them back together this season. I really didn't see that.
Oh, your question was, did I see them getting back together? Because you left that kind of open. You asked me, did I see
did you see that storyline this season with the 2 of them getting together this season? Did you see
the storyline of Issa and Lawrence getting back together?
Yeah, this season. I was talking about,
I don't think I saw that. Mm-mm.
Do you like it as a member of the Lawrence Hive? Do you like it?
So you just could not let me just eat on my own because, Lord. Anyway, but I forgot this is your channel. Why would I not expect you to be eating? As a proud member of the Lawrence Hive, I can't say that I saw Issa and Lawrence getting back together. Even after the Condola thing went south, I never thought that they would get back together. I thought that the story is better when Issa's life is a mess. I talked about this a little on my review. But the story is better if she's a mess. And I don't think you have a show if everything's well put together and everything's nice in her life. And I think it's always better if there's that awkwardness between her and Lawrence. If there's always that's her ex of 5+ years and she cheated on him. Always at the forefront, but still underneath the surface whenever they're around.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see it coming.
What about the Molly thing?
About her and Molly's relationship going to shit?
Yeah.
That didn't... I don't think that surprised anybody because we remember we saw this all the way going back to season 1. I don't think that we saw it being at the level that it was. I don't think we saw it being like as intense.
Yeah, because they was about to fight. Like they was straight up about to go to blows. Like it got that serious. Yeah. Storylines like that irritate me because I always get irritated when people don't do what I would have done. I don't understand how Issa is friends with Molly. Like, I just don't. I don't get it. I need to see some flashbacks. I need to see how they met. I need to see how this relationship built, because I don't even see them being, I don't know how they got to be best friends. And I know opposites attract and all that stuff, but Molly irritates my soul. And she always has, you know? I don't know.
I don't know if Molly never really irritated my soul.
She does. She irritates my soul. Because I just feel like, well, you know why? Because she reminds me, you know, a lot of you. She's never wrong, very rigid, unforgiving. Maybe that's why she don't irritate you. Hey, Markel, what you sorry for? What you do to me yesterday? I don't remember you doing nothing. Do I need to go back and look at something? What you do? Hey, E. Starkey, which is why they meet up at the Ethiopian restaurant at the end, was very sudden. Molly is exhausting because she started the drama. I don't think them meeting at the Ethiopian restaurant, I thought it was very ironic, because the same thing that she said, well, Issa, you know, El Teddy, are you there? Hello? I think he froze. Okay. I was like, he was real quiet. Is it me or was it him? Is something wrong over here, you guys? You said, oh, never mind, carry on. See? I didn't even know what you did, Markel. Oh, now I need to go figure out something you did to me. Okay. Did we lose? I don't know if we lost El Teddy or if he clicked himself off. We'll find out if he come back, child. Molly didn't start irritating you. Okay, he's coming back. Molly didn't start irritating you until mid-season 4. Molly's has irritated me for a while, and I find it very interesting that now that Molly's life is going to shit, that now she can call Issa and want to talk things out. Now that Andrew done broke up with her.
But it's the same way now that Issa's life is going to shit. She's willing to listen.
Well, she wanted to reach out to Molly before. Listen, let me say this. I'm not saying that Issa's the perfect friend. Issa got some shit. Listen, we all do. We all have some shit. You understand what I'm saying? But I just feel like Molly is just very her, because even like with her dad, and even like, it's just like, I just feel like she's just very, well, like her therapist told her, you know what I'm saying? Just very rigid, and just, you know, you do me wrong and that's it. That's all, no more.
But I feel like, for example, you're rigid. Yes.
No, I'm not. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm. You are rigid in, you are, when you fix your mind on something, you're fixated on that. And no matter how, and everybody to a certain degree is that way, but no matter how something may be presented to counter that, you are like, nope, this is how I stand. Now that may make sense what you said, but it's still not going to alter how I originally felt, and I'm not changing, no matter how valid the other side is. And that's, you know, that amount of rigidity.
But I think, and we've had this conversation privately, I think there's a difference between this is my point of view and this is how I feel versus, oh, I'm just so frigid. I hear people out. I hear what you have to say, but I do. Yeah. When I have a point of view, I have a point of view. But I think,
but it's the same as Molly, though.
No, I don't think that's. I don't see that as the same, because again, Molly is unforgiving. I'm not talking about her point. Everybody has points of view and they feel the way they feel, but I'm talking about the fact that she is just unforgiving. She just doesn't see any other. She doesn't see any other version of her version of not reality, of right and wrong, her morality. So like with her father,
you even said about yourself. You have said about yourself that you sometimes get that way too, where you say, if I'm done, I'm done. That's it. Don't talk to me no more. We're not going back.
No. Again, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there comes a time in a debate where there's nothing left to say. If me and you are debating right now, me and you are debating a point. You feel the way you feel and I feel the way I feel. Neither one of us are wrong. We're talking about a character on a TV show. Neither one of us are wrong. We see it from our different points of view. What I'm saying is there comes a point where you said all you can say to support your point of view. I've said all I can say to support my point of view. We need to move on to a different conversation because it's not going anywhere. That's what I said. It's not so much that I'm frigid. I think we're talking about two different things. We're talking about two different
things. But even in that, my viewpoint is different. Even in that, I don't think that I ever go into a debate saying, "Oh, okay, I just want to make sure I lay out all my points, let you lay out all your points, and then we're moving on." I think, especially if it's someone that I'm close to, friends with, or even if I'm not, even if it's just a casual conversation, I think that I go into it saying, okay, I am going to lay out my points, but I do want to hear what they have to say so that I can, because it may change or alter my point. I might come out of that saying, you know what, I came into it this way and I left there because I heard what you had to say. I left there and I said, oh yeah, I don't feel that way. But a lot of times, what a lot of times what people, not just you, but I'm saying what people do is they do exactly because you do that sometimes.
But I also all the time and I've said that to you, like, oh, I never thought of it from that point of view. I say it all the time.
Mm-hmm. But even if well, we'll talk about that later. Let's get back to the show.
But Lord have mercy. Molly wants to find love, but doesn't know the balance of giving criticism and receiving it. Friends need to learn that there are boundaries. I stopped talking to a classmate because they called me out to dinner for their birthday and never showed up.
Is Mark, that you sound like you coming from a personal place with that last statement that you said? Where's that coming from?
I'm reading the comments on the board.
I'm talking to Mark Hill.
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about?
That last statement, that didn't seem like a generality. That seemed like oh yeah, I got personal story behind it. Where did that come from? Because I don't know that you can make that blanket statement about just friends in general.
But the Molly just wants to find love, but doesn't know the balance of giving criticism and receiving it. That statement.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you throw in there that friends need to learn that there are boundaries. That's a specific statement, because for me, I don't have that kind of problem with my friends knowing their boundaries. But conversely, I don't let people get to the point where I have to tell them, know your boundaries, know your place, know your role. I cut a person off way. I stop a person way before they even get in the vicinity of a boundary. If I feel you veering in that direction, hey, boo, nope, stay over there. But that's just me.
I don't know. I don't know. When it comes to Molly, like I said, Molly is not somebody that Molly's not somebody that I could be friends with. And I think that might be why she irritates me, because she's just not somebody I could be friends with. Because I have no problem. I mean, I have friends who are very critical with me and very direct with me and say what needs to be said. So I don't have a problem with her directness. I have a problem with the fact that there's no room for error in Molly's world. That's the problem. But yet, when it's the other way around, that's the problem I have.
I don't think that last statement by Markel is fair. We can address that later. We're veering off of the show.
I just think we can talk to our friends how we like, but when we are in a relationship, friends should have boundaries on thoughts and concerns. Not personally to me, but I've seen it.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different discussion, because
why Molly got mad at Issa, because she was saying she wanted to separate her relationship from their friendship, and she felt like Issa went behind her back and did what she asked her not to do. So I think that's connected, because me and you disagreed on that. You know what I'm saying? We disagreed on that.
I think that's a different thing. You saying someone saying that my friends shouldn't, that's like basically saying you shouldn't be talking about, and I don't want to hear your thoughts and opinions on my relationship. Let me handle my relationship and you keep that out of our conversation. that's kind of how that comes off. I might be reading it wrong, but if that a certain level of friendship that I have, like certain friends, they're going to be able to talk to me because I'm going to talk to them about my relationship, and I am soliciting, views, thoughts, opinions, and so forth. Like if I don't want my friend, but see, I'm very good about that. Like my friends know every friend of mine never has 100% of anything that I have going on. Nobody. I don't think I have a single person that knows 100% of everything, and everybody knows they get bits and pieces that I just want to give them. That's been my whole life. So I'm not going to share anything with somebody if I don't want to hear what they have to say about it. Like if I want to know what you have to say about my boyfriend, I'm not going to talk to you about him.
But I think that goes back to what Markel said about the boundaries part of it. Because you said if I don't want to know what you have to say, I won't talk to you about it. But here's the thing: if me and you are friends and I know you have a boyfriend, I think that's what he's saying. Like, understand that if I don't ask you, I don't want to know. Maybe, and I'm speaking for him. I don't know. That might not be what he's saying at all. Right, little baby said, right. If I want your opinion, I won't tell you. Exactly. I feel the same way. Like, I don't.
Well, little baby, I'm saying there.
A long time ago.
There's no reason for me to tell you know your boundaries, because I don't give you nothing for me to have to say that to you because you don't know anything.
But some people still feel like they have an opinion. Some people, I've had people like that I ain't told you nothing, but you still feel like you have an opinion. I didn't ask you. But okay, bingo really be. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I personally, like I said, Markel asked, have we met a Molly before? I probably have, but like I said, because I can't be, I don't see myself being friends with somebody like a Molly. I probably have met that person, but we didn't become friends. I just, some friends just don't give good opinions and come off rude and nasty. Yeah, and again, it's also sometimes the way you say stuff. I think the way Molly talks to Issa, and not just Issa, but people, I think the way she talks to people sometimes can be just very dismissive and rude. And I'm like, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. Being honest doesn't mean being rude. You can be honest with somebody without being nasty and without being rude. And I don't think she understands that there's a difference. She's one of those people that thinks that, well, I'm just keeping it real. Well, keeping it real doesn't mean you have to be nasty. Teddy is my Molly. No, because then we couldn't be friends. And I consider him a friend. I don't think he's my Molly. He has some Molly traits, I think. But people could say I probably have some. You do have some Molly traits, I think. The fact that you agree with Molly and you identify with Molly tells me you have Molly traits. You don't see yourself in Molly in some ways.
I might be a little elitist, but you are as elitist as they come.
Whoa! What? How do we? Wait a minute. Hold on. How do we even get here? How did we get here? I'm as elitist as they come. Are you serious right now? Child, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Let's get back to this damn insecure child. Let's get back. Have y'all not date someone back to their zodiac sign? I personally think it's overrated. You could be missing out on your blessing.
I have a question for the chat.
Question. Have y'all ever not dealt with dates? Oh, because of their
I do.
I've never dated another Sagittarius ever in my life. I don't give a fuck who it is.
I can't date Pisces. I can't date a Pisces.
Because our personalities just don't match. Our personalities don't match. I can't do it.
I can't do Pisces. Nope, not doing it. No God. Now, let me ask the chat this. See how well you know me and Really B. I'm gonna ask you the question first. I'm gonna ask you this question. It's gonna be you answer for Really B first, and then we're gonna ask the same question. You're gonna answer for me, okay?
What you mean? Okay, do it. Maybe I have to.
Now,
okay.
This is for Really B first. You know we got two people going on. If Really B was Issa. Put a 1 if she would choose Nathan. Put a 2 if you think she would choose Lawrence.
Good question.
Based on what you know about her and the type of man you know or you think you know
That is
she
a
likes.
good
Who would really be
question.
choose? A 1 for Nathan, a 2 for Lawrence. Go ahead, put it in the chat. Who would she choose?
Me and my niece had this conversation last night. That's actually a good question. 1 for Nathan. Is it 1 for Nathan, 2 for Lawrence? Which one was it?
1 for Nathan, 2 for Lawrence.
Okay. Oh, I see you, Big Daddy. Okay. Big Daddy, you know me. Who do you think I would choose? You think I would choose Nathan?
Big Daddy said 2.
He said, okay, he said Lawrence. Okay. So we have it's majority 2s in the chat. Interesting. Majority 2s in the chat.
Interesting.
You want to know who I would choose?
Wait till they answer for wait till they because we have to do me now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So for me, our resident whore. Oh no. Even though for me,
I know what I think the answer is, child.
1 for Nathan, 2 for Lawrence.
Now you have mostly 1s.
Interesting.
That is very interesting.
I almost, before we answer, want to ask why they chose who they chose for us. Jonathan said 1 and 2 for me. You might be right, Jonathan.
My people said the same thing. But you know what's funny? You want to know what I was going to say? You want to know my answer about you?
Uh-huh.
I think you would fuck with both of them, but you wouldn't be in a committed relationship with either one. But I think you
hold that for. Interesting. So let's go to Daniel is my frat brother. He is a Kappa. He is a noob. Well, the actor that plays Daniel, I should say.
Low key, he would pick Daniel.
So I wonder why y'all said most of y'all said Lawrence for Really B. Why Lawrence for Really B before she answers? Now I'm curious.
I'm curious as to what you think the answer is.
What I think the answer is?
Yeah, who do you think I would be with?
I'm going to say Lawrence.
Why?
Because you don't like high yellow nigga energy. You
Lord, what the hell?
High yellow niggas have a certain type of energy. And that's not your zhuzh. Not that you couldn't, but the whole vibe that high yellow boys give off, I feel like you'd be like, sure. After a while, you'd be like, y'all can have a good romp in the hay. But after that, you'd be like,
high yellow. I don't even know what vibe you're talking about. Wow, that's
everybody knows there's a high yellow nigga ass vibe. There is.
No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I've never heard that before. What vibe from high? I don't know what that is.
It's so hard to explain. It's just an aura, a vibe. Ask your niece; she could probably tell you.
I'm not asking her shit.
She could probably tell you what the vibe is.
Her and they
will fight. They will fight.
I mean, the answer is I would choose Lawrence. I would choose Lawrence. I
know that.
For me. I don't like how I understand. It would be Lawrence. Yep, it would be Lawrence. You choose Nathan for El Teddy because I think you can run over him and he'll give you a different type of conversation that'll stimulate your mind. Ooh, that ain't what El Teddy. Is he frozen again?
No, I'm not frozen. I'm reading
Oh.
the history and give him a chance now that he's got his ish together. Cocky, self-confident, know that they Yolanda, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would definitely be for me. It would be Lawrence. We had that conversation last night. Me and my niece she would pick Nathan, and I would pick Lawrence.
For me, now me and my best friends, we all had this conversation. They immediately knew who I would choose. Did not question it. Said, "Oh, that's easy. We know who you go choose," and they were absolutely right because they know me. I would pick Lawrence. They first of all, aesthetically, Lawrence is my type. I like my men tall and skinny. That is, if you want to know what El Teddy's type is, he likes his men tall and skinny. I'm sorry, that is my type. Now, in terms of skin tone and skin complexion, I can have either. But the other thing about it is I like quiet guys. I like guys who are not, I don't like the gregarious, outspoken, the talker. I don't like the talkers. I like somebody who's going to just be quiet, be shy, sit in the background. You ain't going to notice them too tough. They just going to do what they do and just chill and vibe. And for me, Lawrence is more of a chilling vibe. He could just, be back there behind the scenes. Whereas Nathan is he's gonna go be kind of the life of the party kind of deal. More so than a Lawrence. I don't like the life of the party type dudes because I'm the life of the party and I don't need you doing all that and I'm over here doing all this. That's too much for me. No, we ain't doing that. Like the Bay, if me and the Bay were in the room, he wouldn't talk. Or I wouldn't talk. One of the two. But you ain't gonna see both of us work in the room. No, we ain't doing that. But watch this. When we by ourselves, it ends up being the complete opposite. Like when we're by ourselves, I'm the quiet one. I'm the one who won't say nothing, and he would do all of the talking and maneuvering and posturing and all of that stuff. I'm not saying Nathan is not chill, but the personality that Nathan has versus the personality that Lawrence has, it would be Lawrence. I definitely couldn't do Daniel. Fuck yes. Date no parts of Daniel. Nope.
Nah, hell nah, Daniel. Nah.
Definitely couldn't do no Daniel. Can you get someone always use the wrong child? Marquette, you know me, honey. The writer in me won't let me. The writing instructor.
The first time that person sent him a text message with the wrong anything, El Teddy would be like, oh no.
Actually, in honest, I don't go for intellectuals. I don't. I like blue collar men. I don't like intellectual. I mainly go for blue collar men. I really rarely ever go for an intellectual. Because then you end up fighting and they want to try and prove that they're smarter than you. And I don't have that kind of energy. Not with my man. I don't prefer Andrew because we're not doing that. Nope. Y'all already know why. I ain't gonna even say it.
Andrew? Who was Andrew?
Asian Bae.
Oh, I'm tripping. Oh no, I'm not. No.
Really, do you pick Lawrence? Okay, so one of the things that I didn't like that they didn't unpack throughout the season, but certainly
exactly, Tawana, exactly.
But certainly, during the episode was the storyline with Tiffany. Now let me start by saying I was of the committee and group of people who thought this was their way of writing her off this show. And I was happy about it. And I thought she would never come back. I should never grace my television screen again. So I was cheering and elated that she went missing because I hate Amanda Seals. I hate everything about her. I hate the fact that she is still allowed to earn money by being on my television screen. The things that she has done has been horrible. I think Karma's still going to get her. Anyway.
I saw much like I think everybody's the biggest, I've seen a lot of reviews and stuff. The biggest criticism of the finale is that it was predictable. And I saw the postpartum coming way back in the episode when they were over her house and she was complaining then. And when the baby started crying, she asked her husband to go take care of it. And he was like, "You want to join me?" And she was like, "Nah, you got it." I saw it coming. And postpartum is real. I appreciate the fact that they addressed it. I appreciate the fact that they touched on it. I hope they don't leave it there. Something you said in your review, I hope they continue to show that she is going to therapy, that it wasn't just a one-time, like it's a process. Like postpartum is real. And so I hope that that's what they do going into next season. I mean, I know you don't like Amanda Seals as a person, but for the character, I hope they don't leave it at, oh, she had this one little moment, they hugged and everything was cool, because that's just not how it works. So I saw it coming. I'm glad they addressed it. And
we talk about also everybody who, because usually I have about 6 or 7 people who on Mondays, they're going to call me at some point and we're going to talk about what we saw in Insecure. Every one of us talked about this one thing that everybody seems to overlook. That shit with Kelly is not normal. The relationship between Kelly and that child, And we all kind of ceremonial, but all of us are from.
What do you mean it's not normal? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Just Kelly's relationship with that child. It's one thing for you to be my friend, and want to be around my child, cuddle with my child, say, "Hey."
But that's the postpartum. That's the postpartum.
Wait, let me finish.
Not being a mother, so Kelly is stepping up. What?
That, to me, and most of the people I spoke with today, it was more women than men that I spoke with today. Even with the postpartum, in cases like that, who steps in? The grandmother will step in a lot of times, sometimes even a sister. But my best friend, and even if definitely with her being married, you would see either her mother or her mother-in-law, maybe even a sister, step into that more motherly role. But just my friend, my dog, that just, to me, it just seems like it seemed awkward to me, because y'all went from she didn't even tell you about the baby shower to basically you damn near breastfeeding this child. You done became pseudo mom, and Derek just seamlessly just let it happen and didn't say anything. That seemed clunky to me, and it just didn't seem. I don't know. Even if she is the godmother,
that just to me that just seemed to continue to lend itself to the postpartum storyline. But okay, it just didn't hit me that way, because I'm like, they're building up this storyline that Tiffany's not taking care of the child, that she's allowing the other people around her to take care of the child. And yeah, it could have been the grandmother. Yeah, we see that her husband has stepped up. We saw it at the block party where the babysitter called. What's that?
Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
No, I was like, what? But a babysitter called and he went and she didn't. So, you know what I mean? I just think it was part of the storyline to show how disengaged Tiffany is and how other people are stepping up. And yeah, I mean, Kelly, but I think that's why Kelly was so hurt when she wasn't included. But Yeah, exactly, Danny. I mean, I understand. For as much as I'm not a kid person, I mean, I've had to do it too. So, but yeah, um, but I appreciated the story. Like I said, I appreciated them touching on it. And again, it wasn't unrealistic for Tiffany to just disappear like that and just be like ghost. Now I ain't gonna lie, when she opened up that hotel room in her towel, I said, "Ooh, is it a man in there?" I just
She
knew.
did look like she was cheating. She did look
And the
like
first
she
thing out
got
her
caught.
mouth was, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Oh, oh."
She looked like she got caught.
I said, "She done
Now
took
you
somebody from that
different from
margarita
me.
bar, honey."
You differ from me on the point that I made, which was, where was Chad and Lawrence? Your boy over here, and I'm not saying that Issa and Kelly and Molly shouldn't have been there. Yes, because that is their friend. But Chad was also there, and he needed his friends, because when they were on the bus trying to console him and stuff like that, he was kind of like, okay, y'all ain't it for me. Because those are not his friends. So even them being sympathetic to him and, try that, I just felt like, where were his friends?
I
In
felt
the
like
I
that
know
whole
it's a
scene
show.
was
I know
clunky to
it's a
me.
show.
That whole breakdown, that whole series was seen. That series was because, like, okay, she had been gone. Like, you just now calling around looking for her. You like, if God forbid her character had come up dead, he would have been the first person. Like, the police would have been like, "Oh, he did it." He waited how long to call? Like, they were just calling the movie theaters, and like he was like, "Oh, I'm going down there now." You just going to go retrace her footsteps and make sure she all right? It's been 24 hours, my man.
But I thought he said she called her. She called him that night and said, I just need some time. I'm gonna get a hotel. And I don't think it was that long. I think what happened was the morning came, she didn't come home, and he probably said, okay, well, I know checkout at 11. Okay. And it probably got to the point where he might have started calling Kelly at around about 1, saying, hey, you heard from her? And Kelly might have been like, no, I ain't heard from her. And he might have been like, okay, well, keep me posted. I'm gonna wait a little while longer, but I ain't heard from her. Maybe she went to go get some stuff. I feel like it was that next night, which to me is in the window of not saying that he waited too long. I feel like it could have legitimately been where it was like, okay, we could remember when Kelly was calling Molly, it was still real bright out. It was still real okay. It didn't look like it was late at night. When Kelly first started calling Molly.
I don't know. I agree with what you're saying, little baby. He did, and that was the other thing. She said she was going to a hotel, so I said that when I was watching it. I said, "Why are we at the movie theater when she told him she was getting a hotel room? Why are we at the movie theater?" Like, I thought the same thing. That didn't make sense to me either.
What I thought about was, why did they have to ride the bus?
Because they were following the bus route to see where she might have gotten
the bus
off.
routes, you can follow the bus route in your car.
Well, I mean,
That's why
you're right. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
The bus stops are right. You know what I'm saying? You could go right on your phone and find any bus route in your city, and they didn't even have to do that. They could have literally went on their phone, looked at the bus route, and say what hotels are on this bus route without having to ride the bus. Like, I ain't understand why we getting on the whole bus and all of y'all got a car. And if y'all wanted to, y'all could have tailed the bus.
That's valid. No, that's valid.
That's valid.
The bus? Because when it showed them on the bus, I was like, why are we on the bus?
I didn't understand that either. I was like, they on the bus? I also don't buy that. Now, maybe it's just my family.
Markel, I kind of was too. Low key, I kind of was too. I was hoping she was cheating too, to be honest with you.
I really, really, really was thinking in my head, if it was my family, that mama would have came. It would have been no way on earth that you would have been able to tell the mama, any mother in my family, oh yeah, you just stay here. We'll go try and find her. No, ma'am. No
Well,
God.
Mama looked like she was a little special. Did you see her talking about she dressed like Mama looked a little? Did you hear when she told Kelly something? Mama looked like she wasn't right, like really with them in that moment. I'm just saying.
You're horrible.
Uh, You ain't look at her when she was talking about something. Do you know what
I
I
ain't
dreamt
looked
about
that
fish
far into
last
her
night?
like
And
that.
Kelly was like,
I looked at
no,
that. Mm-mm,
nobody knows why
mm-mm,
you dreamt about fish.
mm-mm.
Nobody knows why you dreamt about fish, ma'am. No. But yeah, so what about let's talk about Andrew and Molly. Again, predictable. I saw that one coming. The whole finale was predictable for me. I called the fact that Condola was pregnant. I called that 2 weeks ago. I called Molly and Andrew breaking up when she wouldn't go to the basketball game with the brother. I said that's the last straw right there. Because he made a point. He was like, so you just never gonna speak to my brother again?
Right.
At the end of the day, that's still my brother. Yeah, he fucked up. He said some dumb shit, but in the moment, I had your back and I defended you. I did the boyfriend thing. I defended you. Now he wants to make amends. He wants to make up. What's like? How do we get past this if you won't even let him try? And that goes back to my whole thing about Molly being frigid and just unwavering. Like, yeah, people fuck up, but at what point do you allow somebody to say, "I'm sorry"? You know what I'm saying? Like somebody just fucks up and that's it, just forever.
Like it was way too predictable. Way too.
I agree with that. I agree.
I was like, so that's really what y'all gonna do? And people have been calling this since they broke up. Like, really? I thought they could have done so much better than that. I respect the writers of the show way too much for them to have just given us that. That was, and then sometimes I get so upset with writers on a lot of shows. You know, I felt a lot of my favorite shows. Oz, I felt that way after Adam BC died. I felt that way when Omar died on The Wire. I felt that way on Game of Thrones after the Night King died. It was just a lot of things. I guess you know that's the whole jumping the shark thing, you know, circa Happy Days. It's just like, what are we doing? And I hope this show hasn't jumped the shark. I really hope that it hasn't.
I don't think it
But
has. I just think, well, let me say this. I think it'll depend on how we come back and how we deal with where they left us. You know what I'm saying? How are we going to deal with the pregnancy and the baby? How are we going to deal with Molly and Issa rebuilding their friendship? How? Because don't come back and meet Issa and Molly are right back where they started. Too much was said. Too much was done. We got to rebuild this shit. This is not going to be easy. You know, I need Molly to stay in therapy. Okay? And I think Issa is going to have a legit conflict between the pros and cons of Lawrence versus Nathan. You know what I'm saying? Like legit, because it's not easy. The whole baby thing, it's not easy. That's not an easy pill to
But
swallow.
I don't think it would have been easy. And people in my comments told me that I was not right in my thought. But I don't think even if she didn't have a baby, if Condola didn't have a baby, long distance relationships, maybe it's just me.
But see, I know how you feel about long distance relationships. I think it depends on the distance. That I think they can make happen. You can catch a damn commuter flight from LA to San Francisco. I know people who live in LA and work in San Francisco.
What I said in my
That's not a
review
big deal.
was a 45-minute flight is different from a 45-minute drive.
I get it.
Very different ball game. It's not bad at all, but to be able to pick up and drive at a moment's notice is different from, because if let's say right now you say, I need you here right now, to get that 45-minute flight is not going to cost you the same $60, $75 to get this flight for today that it would have if you got it 21 days in advance, like you should for most flights. You know what I'm saying?
Get that. I mean,
So
I get it's not easy.
with that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's impossible, and I can only speak for myself. The drive is about 8 hours. See,
Is the drive that long? Because I know it's a 45-minute flight from here to Raleigh, and it don't take me but 4 hours to get to Raleigh. Is it really that long?
It's a 45-minute flight from Miami to Jacksonville, Florida, and Jacksonville is about 4.5 hours.
Yeah, I can get to Raleigh in 4.5 hours.
Jacksonville
Depending
is
on
about
traffic.
4.5, 5 hours from Miami.
I've done that flight a million times. So it's like like literally by the time you up at altitude, we're now descending. Like it's literally boom, boom.
Yeah, that's how it is from Miami to Jacksonville, and it's about 4.5, 5 hours from Miami to Jacksonville to drive. But if it's an 8-hour drive, if it's anything north of 4, I can do a 4 hour. 4 hours, okay. But if it's north of 4, you talk about 6, 7, 8. That's a ride. Who's Mr. Hey, Mr. Judy, dear God, I'm sorry. Give me a moment while I look at his avatar.
Moving on.
Wait, what? What? Such a hater. Such a hater.
Your point is valid. I guess it depends on your view on pregnancy and all that good stuff because, and this is the point that, and this was where, this was too much to type, but this was another point about what El Teddy said that I sort of kind of disagree with when you was talking about why she would choose to keep this child over when sometimes it's about where a woman is in her life. That biological clock bullshit is real. You know, maybe she's in a better financial situation than she was when she was with her ex-husband. I don't think it's so much about Lawrence as it is where she is in her life that made her decide to keep this baby versus maybe making a different decision at a different point. I know plenty of women who they make different decisions depending on where they are in their life. You know what I'm saying? So again, I just think.
And I'm gonna say this, and since we've gone down this Pandora's box with this show, dear God, then it's open now. I don't think that people can. I don't think that anyone can have it both ways. If your argument is that people always make the argument it takes 2 to make a child, this, that, and the third. If that is the case, then the 2 need to be in agreement with the child. And what I mean by that is this. If you tell me it took 2 of us to make this child, then why was it only one of us that was able? And I understand, I'm not negating the fact that this is a woman's body, and I would never take that from a woman. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, just like it took 2 and you all went together to have this child, I don't think that it's fair that only one parent gets to decide whether or not we're going to have this child.
I 100% agree with you on that.
And I think that if a woman does say, you know what, you may not want to have it, I still want to have it. I have always thought that there should be laws put in place that says, if both parents don't agree that they want to have this child, and there's nothing medical that would cause any hurt for this mom if she took a Plan B pill, or if she, decided to, no longer have the child and go the abortion route, then she should have to sign paperwork saying he is absolved of, child support and all of that, because he's just being drug along. And you said it took 2 of us to make a child, and that's your justification for him paying. But when y'all were at the pivotal point where you could have made the decision to say, well, we're just not going to do this, you just took it upon yourself to say, well, fuck you or fuck your life, I'm gonna do it anyway. That's just not fair in my estimation. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I 100% agree. Yes, and Danny, you're right. Condola did say that. She said she would absolve him of whatever responsibility. My only caveat to that statement, Say that
now.
Well, that's fine. But my only caveat to that statement is if they were using birth control. Because here's my problem. If y'all not using no birth control, then you know what the fuck can happen. But if y'all were both in agreement and y'all were using birth control and that was the agreement, then I 100% agree. And I've had that conversation with male friends of mine before who, it might sound fucked up, and I get it. But at the end of the day, if I didn't want the child and you made a decision to keep the child, yet I'm still financially on the hook. I told you, and maybe part of my decision was that I couldn't afford a child. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't disagree with you at all on that one. I don't disagree. Like maybe you thought I would, but I don't. I wasn't disagreeing with that part of what you were saying. I was disagreeing with the why did she choose now? Because when she was with her husband, I'm just saying women make different decisions
But
in
I've
different
seen
parts
people
of their
coming
life.
at members of the Lawrence side because they say, oh, they don't like how Lawrence talked to her or how he addressed
Now,
her, and he said wrong. But what I'm going to say is he may not have come at her, being that it's 2020 when we are in a very politically correct climate. But I thought those were his raw emotions. I felt like
I agree.
those were his raw emotions. Like, what the fuck? And I think that how he conveyed it was with the wrong way. But I think that it was like in the immediacy of it, some people have a harder time filtering and censoring their raw emotion. I don't think that's the case with Lawrence or the character Lawrence. I think the writers purposely had him display
I 100%
those
agree.
emotions.
I 100% agree that was his raw emotion. I'm just saying, as a woman, those statements, that's the last thing you want to hear. I understand it was his raw emotion. Like, that's how he felt. I'm not saying he was wrong. I'm just saying what I said in my review was, and you said the thing that you should, that's the worst thing that a woman wants to hear. When she tells a man that she's pregnant, the worst, the last thing she wants him to do is question whether he's the father and why are you gonna keep it? Why are you gonna keep it? I'm not saying he wasn't wrong.
About it is, let's not talk about the generality. Let's talk about these two. Because remember, Lawrence found out that he wasn't nothing but a fuck buddy. And at the moment, as a man, that I find out that I wasn't nothing but a fuck buddy, immediately my first thought is, well, who are the other fuck buddies? Because it's rare.
No,
you just got one.
Well,
if I was a fuck buddy, maybe you got a whole nother fuck buddy over there too.
No, her friend told him.
That's how men are going to think.
Her friend told him that.
And the reason we broke up was because I called you on your fuck shit.
The reason why they broke up is because she felt like he was still in love with Issa. She couldn't deal with the Issa piece, because when he threw it at her, her response back to him was, well, are you still in love with Issa? And he was like, that's not a fair question. She cheated on me. Yeah, but if she had never cheated, would y'all still be together? That she threw it back on him. She never addressed. She said she wasn't ready for a commitment. That didn't mean that she was fucking 5 months.
I felt like they broke up simply because she knew about the Issa situation and she was willing to keep going. They broke up because he called her ass out when he found out that he was nothing but a fuck buddy.
I disagree, but okay.
She asked him that, but that was a stupid question. Like, that was the dumbest question on earth. That was a stupid. If she wouldn't have cheated, would you have stayed? I think that was a stupid question to me.
No. That was a dumb question. Yeah. No, that
was a stupid. I was like, wait, that's what you're asking?
But I think that's the reason why she never let herself get too close and too comfortable with him, because in her mind, she felt like Lawrence was still in love with Issa. I really think that's why she never let it get that far. That's just my opinion.
I think if she wouldn't let it,
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Somebody just blessed me. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Huh?
You're welcome.
You know what? Anyway,
I'm adding to this conversation too, ma'am. But no, I feel like she I definitely feel like and
there is a difference
from Lawrence's angle. If I look at it from Lawrence's angle, being a member of the Lawrence Hive, because Lawrence, even if it wasn't her reason, they broke up with each other, okay? Lawrence definitely felt some kind of way because he felt like he wanted to take it seriously and he felt like he was a Splackavelli. And wait a minute. Can we have this conversation? Y'all in the chat. My good friend, my big sis, Really B, says she never heard the song Splackavelli. And I told her, how did you not hear the song Splackavelli? Everybody knew that song.
Clearly not everybody. I didn't know it. So clearly not everybody.
He wasn't one of the popular people.
Right. People say I wasn't popular because I didn't know the song Splackavelli. I didn't know that was a prerequisite to be in the cool kids. I didn't know that was a prerequisite.
These were the 90s. There was no internet around. Well, the internet was invented, but we weren't on the World Wide Web of internet back then in the mid-90s when this song came out, okay? So it wasn't like you were preoccupied with the internet. Everybody was listening to the radio. Okay.
Thank you so much for the Cash App. I might even share some of that one with El Teddy. Thank you. Thank you for the blessings. Thank you for the blessings.
Be disrespectful and drop my Cash App in the doggone chat.
Yes, you would be disrespectful. That is very disrespectful. Yes, sir.
Oh God, I'm not gonna do that. You know I would do that.
That's right, Donnie. I was raised as a good Catholic girl. That's right. Shamar Moore was in the video.
Everybody knows Splackavelli.
I've never heard. Big Daddy. Did I miss Splackavelli? He knew me in college. Did we miss Splackavelli?
I think Splackavelli came out midnight. I want to say it came out like midnight.
Big Daddy didn't know Splackavelli either. Big Daddy, Jonathan, did you know Splackavelli?
He said he wished he didn't know, but he know what it is.
Oh, he wish he didn't know that.
Oh, he know what it is. Everybody know what it is. He spelled it right because they spelled it in the song. Wait a minute. You got to spell it right because they spell it in the song. You got to love a song when they spell out the word for you, okay? Trying to tell you. How do you know?
I don't feel like I ever heard it. I really don't think I ever heard it. I'm going to have to listen to it and see if I know it. But I really, the name does not do anything.
Oh, I remember that. Trying to tell you, they spelled it out.
Jonathan heard about it too. I don't know.
It was a popular song. Woo! Even Jonathan said he heard it before. Jonathan said he heard it. Big Daddy said he heard Child. Anyway.
Let me say this. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying.
No, but I never finished my point.
Oh,
my point was that as a man, one of the premises for him breaking up with her was because he felt like he was just a fuck buddy or, a side piece. And you come and tell me you pregnant, your mind immediately goes to, well, wait a minute, how the fuck you know it's me? Because I'm over here, I'm the fucking side piece. And you might have had another side piece if you around here get bust down. I don't know. That's just what I figure.
Pressure. No.
I think that was the name of the group. I think it was Pressure, something like that. It wasn't a real popular group. I think that was their only good song.
I don't know.
But I know you have me look on YouTube.
But for me, yeah, I was gonna look it up later, right? But for me, like I said, I'm not saying that Lawrence was wrong for having his feelings. I'm just saying, as a woman, those are just not the first words you want to hear come out the man's mouth. That you saying, listen, you are the father of my child, I'm pregnant. Those just ain't the first. I'm not saying he was wrong for how he felt. I'm just saying that ain't what the hell he wanted to hear. You heard that? You heard that at Jim Jam? Shit. Then I guess I've heard it then.
A little baby said,
maybe I just blocked it from my memory.
Yeah, see, Pressure. That's right. And that song the official video got 5 million views.
Hold on, let me listen. Let me look it up. Let me listen to it in my ear. Because I'd be damned if I'm gonna let my video get flagged for a
get flagged and get a copyright.
Right. Spell Splackavelli, shit.
Splackavelli. Splackavelli, baby. You gotta know how to spell it. They spell it in the song.
Thank you, Mochima.
Come on now. Everybody heard Splackavelli. Y'all try to act bougie. I told y'all she was bougie, right? Didn't I tell y'all she was elitist and bougie? This just proves my point. This just proves my point. I mean, he did. He did. Big Daddy. He said all the wrong things. He said every wrong thing you could say. Even his body language or his facial expressions. Like when I tell you, Jay Ellis played that part. Jay Ellis played that part because them facial expressions he was making at the end of this episode, like he didn't even have to say much, but just based on his facial expressions at all alone, you knew exactly what he was saying. Yeah, Big Daddy say they spelled the name. How do you miss that? Yeah, you got to listen to the song. You can't just watch it. You got to listen to it.
That is Shamar Moore. That is Shamar Moore. He looked familiar. I've seen him before.
What you? She's so pious. Like my thing was when he asked her, "Is it mine?" You can't be surprised that a man, that's one of his first questions when you around here getting bust down. Y'all ain't in no committed relationship. You even said that to him.
But the fact that I'm coming to you means that I think you're the father. So the fact, like,
You
the fact
think-
that I'm coming, like El Teddy, if I say to you, if I say, El Teddy, I'm pregnant, of course you don't think I'm telling you because you're the father. I'm telling you as my friend. But if I'm calling and me and you
That's
been
apples and
in,
all. That's not a good example.
that is a very good example. If I'm calling you to tell you that I'm pregnant and me and you've been fucking for the last 2 months, clearly I think you the daddy.
But clearly somebody else could be the daddy too. If we ain't in no
Well,
committed
if
relationship.
if I call you, just assume not you. But if me and you've been having sex and I tell you I'm pregnant, just assume I'm telling you because I think you the daddy.
But just assume we have whole ass TV shows based on women who have been wrong.
Well, clearly
Relationship
there are
is wrong.
trifling women in this world, but what my point is, I said thank you to daddy. I didn't say you were the daddy. I said thank you to daddy.
It is legitimate for him to question, hey, is it mine?
All I said, listen, what I said was I understand where he's coming from, but as a woman, that's just not what you want to hear a man say. That's all.
And a man, and just like a man, the last thing you want to hear is some girl that you've been busting down saying that I'm pregnant. So just like you don't want to hear that question, I don't want to hear your statement talk about you pregnant.
But no, but I understand that point. But that's all I'm saying is that I understood, like Condola, like I said, if
Condola had been lying to him. She had been lying to him. Like Condola had been lying to him. So he had every right to be like, wait a minute.
How was she lying to him? The fact that she didn't invite him to Thanksgiving dinner should have let him know what his status was. If you didn't get invited to Thanksgiving, you not somebody I feel like I'm in a relationship with. We just
no.
He invited himself to Thanksgiving.
But legitimately, if I'm fucking you 3 days a week, okay, sometimes twice a week, I'm probably feeling like, damn, I must be, the only one she fucking. I'm not a fuck buddy. Because a fuck buddy is 1 day a week.
But what I'm saying is we don't have any proof. We don't have any proof that she was sleeping with anybody other than Lawrence. She wasn't ready for a committed relationship. That doesn't mean she was sleeping with 3 or 4 other people. That just means
we don't know.
I know that's my saying, but y'all jumping all the way to the conclusion that she had 4 or 5 fuck buddies. That's not the point.
No, we're just
I'm ready for a commitment, but that don't mean I'm sleeping with Tom, Dick, Harry, Sue, Bob, and Jane. Shit.
But no, it is legitimate for a man to ask the question: is it mine? You may not want to hear that
by himself. Here's the thing, Xavier. If I'm having a party the next day and you're not invited, when you say to me, "Oh, do you want me to come?" You put me in a bad situation because if I say no, then I'm a bitch.
But you're
You
just
put me in a
proving
so
the
no,
reason
he didn't
why
invite me to the party.
you are just proving the reason why he should have treated her the way he treated her and say, bitches, that shit mine.
No,
Because
those are
she
two different things.
obviously did
That
not
is
think
two
enough of
different.
it. She
Child.
didn't have him in the category where he should have been like, oh, well, I know it must be mine. She obviously, like you said, he wasn't that serious to her. He was not, obviously, as you said, that
That
serious to
doesn't
her.
mean
And if
that
he
you
wasn't that serious,
that
he
doesn't
should have
mean
been
you
like,
have
girl,
4 or
I don't
5
want that
different.
mine.
Listen, moving on. See, this is one of those moments where you feel the way you feel, I feel the way I feel. We disagree. Is talking about this longer going to change my mind or your mind?
Every woman needs that one stuck up belly. Her brother, she can
Exactly.
call when her man ain't do it
Exactly.
right. She
We
can
can sit here and talk about this till we
right.
blue in the face.
But
Is it
she's
going to
the
change our mind?
morning light. Make you feel right. Come on now.
You
Back it
think
up.
it established her behavior as not being reliable? I just don't see it that way. I don't know how that makes her not reliable, but okay.
She's not.
How?
She's a liar.
She is not when did she lie to Lawrence? Tell me when she lied. Tell me when she lied to Lawrence.
When she made that young man feel like they were in a committed relationship. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you exactly the point where she made him feel like it was a legitimate relationship. If it wasn't that serious, when she found her ass out about Issa, she wouldn't have cared. She wouldn't have came over there all in her feelings and mad because she was in her feelings. And she was like, you know what? I better go. You're not doing all of that if you aren't, in a committed or don't feel like this is something legitimate.
We weigh on something totally different. I don't understand. Listen, little baby. All I'm saying is I understand Lawrence's response. I do. What I'm saying is that as a woman, that's not what we want to hear when we listen. I think y'all are misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Lawrence is an asshole for saying that. All I'm saying is, as a woman, that's not what we want. That's not the first thing we want to hear come out your damn mouth when we say we pregnant. Now get it. Did Lawrence, I'm not saying Lawrence was wrong for feeling the way he felt. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
And what we're saying is we hear what you're saying, but your point of view is just one-sided. Because you are saying,
point of view.
What I'm saying is you're looking at it from her angle only. You are taking it as that's not something that she wants to hear. And in that type of conversation, we are beyond the what you want to hear conversation. This is not the time to be talking about let's try to coddle her feelings. This is not time for that. And so that's what I'm saying. When you look at it, you're kind of looking at it from Condola's vantage point only, negating Lawrence's vantage point, which that is the first and most legitimate question. Now, have you felt insulted? Perhaps, but we're not in a situation where we could start saying, well, let me walk on eggshells and pussyfoot around on how we feel. No, we're not at that point. Not when you come and tell me you pregnant.
I just think y'all not. Okay. I don't know what else you want me to say because I really think y'all just
Brandon said 1 minute he's with Really P, the next with L Teddy. I'm in the middle with Condola.
I just think y'all not understanding my point. I'm not saying that Lawrence. I just anyway. Forget it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say.
That we understand that you're saying that that's not what a woman wants to hear, and that you don't think that Lawrence should not have that question.
Maybe not the first thing out his mouth. No. I'm not
saying
it
wouldn't matter if that was the first, second, or third thing out of his mouth.
That should come out his damn mouth. That's all. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Anyway, All I know is that ain't never gonna happen. That can't ever happen. But if
I'm
I
just
had
saying
came back,
that.
I was
No,
pregnant and
my only
something in his
point
house
was,
was it mine, I would have caught a charge. That's all I'm saying. Because I would have swung. The next thing I would have done was swung. So I'd have caught a charge. That's all I'm saying.
if that's the first thing out of his mouth,
Yes, I'd have caught a charge because I'd have knocked the shit out of him. Yes, absolutely.
why are you fighting?
Because if I'm telling you that I'm pregnant, then you are the person that I think is the father. And for you to say,
But there could be
is
some.
it mine? Whatever, call it what you want. You catching the charge. Call it what you want. I'm just
But
telling you.
that's not fair. You're only
That's
looking
not
at it
fair.
from her vantage point.
Nope. You catching the listen. I'm catching a charge because I'm swinging.
You're only looking at it from, and I think that's in most cases when you look at these type of situations, it's always seen from the woman's vantage point, and that's just not fair.
I'm a woman.
You're right, and I'm a man, and that is why I'm giving it
And
to
that's
you from
exactly
Laura's
and
side.
that's it. Rochelle, understand what I'm saying. He absolutely should get a DNA test. Before he makes any commitment, he absolutely should make sure he's the father. I'm not saying he shouldn't, and I'm not saying he shouldn't question it. All I said was, if that's the first thing out your mouth, I'm just telling you for me.
But if you feel that strongly, you're going to fight him if it's the first, second, third, or 29th
No, that's
thing
not
out his
true.
mouth.
No, that's not
You're
true.
going to feel some kind of way. Listen, even
That's
if
not
you
true.
said, well, let's
I
sit
can
down
be
and
fighting
talk
and
about
pregnant.
this.
Yes, I can
Well,
start. Yes, I can.
when did you find out? It don't matter if it was the first or 50th. When you get
That's
to
not
that,
true.
is
That's
it
true. That's
mine?
not true
It's
for
still gonna
me.
have the same
For me,
sting.
that's not true. It would be different if we're having a conversation and then that was part of the conversation.
Or
That's
if he
no.
called her the next day and said, "Is it mine?" She shouldn't be mad.
Say what again?
If he called her the next day and said, "Well, do you know it's mine?"
If he said, listen, let's get a DNA test, that's a different conversation. I'm cool with that. I don't
That's
know.
just like said, "Is it mine?"
No, see, forget it.
Me asking for a DNA test is saying, "Is it mine?"
Forget it. Forget it.
Right? You can't be fighting to be pregnant.
Yes, I can.
Because if you hit me,
all
I'ma
up
push
and
you
down
down.
these streets. Windmilling.
If you hit me, I'm gonna push you down. We both going to jail.
I said I'm gonna catch a charge. I said that. I said I'm gonna catch a charge. I said that. It was also a young pregnant woman that was also contemplating the alternative, and he was pissed. See, and that goes both ways too. Exactly. When the woman doesn't want to keep the baby and the father does want to keep the baby, it goes both ways. Absolutely.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know why I've seen people pregnant and fight all the time. I mean, it may not be the best decision, but you can do it.
And we see the products of people who fought when they were pregnant all the time in these good YouTube streets. We see the byproducts of those fights while someone was pregnant. We see all the ones who mom was at the gas station a little too long pumping gas, inhaling gas. All those moms who decided it was a good time to paint the room where the baby was going to sleep.
Hey, what's up, me? I see you on the wall, babe.
All the moms who believe that, listen, this shot of Hennessy ain't going to do nothing.
Thank you, Jamila. That's all I'm saying.
So you're going to highlight Jamila point because she agree with you. See, this is what I'm talking about. You take all the cash apps, you highlight all the points that agree with you. Why am I even here? Let me take myself off screen, dear God. Why am I even here?
Well, since El Teddy is gone, you guys, let's talk about the fact that I'm right and El Teddy is wrong all the time.
But they weren't dating exclusively below.
No, and she's agreeing with you, El Teddy. She's been on your side. So, yeah. She's on your side. Moving on.
Don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me nothing.
Moving on. Like I was saying.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to put you in the writer's room now. What is a different way they could have written the ending? What's an alternative to what we all predicted?
Personally, as much as I enjoyed having more episodes, and somebody said this earlier on in the chat. Honestly, the season finale was at the block party. When Issa and Molly, the way they left that was the season finale. I really feel like they should have drugged that out and left the block party episode as the last episode, and they
Mhm.
should have continued to build us
Absolutely.
up. Or
Absolutely.
maybe they could have put the Lawrence piece in before that, so that Issa was seeing Lawrence but didn't know how to talk to Molly about it.
Right.
Like I feel like, but
Well, it
that
would have been even messier.
finale.
Watch this. It would have been even nicer and messier if Issa was talking to Lawrence and still reached out to Nathan and had the Nathan part introduced into that, you know, with the Lawrence. That would have even been even better.
Yeah. I personally, honestly, if it's me, that's the finale. Because honestly, the rest of the episodes, as fans of the show,
especially
we enjoyed it.
when the very first thing that we heard at the beginning of the season was, "I just don't fuck with Molly like
anymore."
that."
Yeah,
That was the first thing we
that was
heard.
the first thing we heard, exactly, that I missed. But anyway,
So
yeah,
to me, here's the writing teacher in me. Writing teacher says that legitimately was the climax of this season's storyline. And writing says that the climax of a story is not in the middle. The climax of a story is way toward the end, because the denouement, falling accident, and resolution happen very quickly. And when you're talking about the stages of plot progression, and there I went being all nerdy and teacher.
I mean, you are a nerd. It's okay. We love you. But yeah, so but honestly, for me, that's what it was. I wish that they could have put the Lawrence stuff, the Andrew stuff, like all of that could have been on the inside, and then maybe not so much Molly and Andrew breaking up piece of it, but building up and us seeing that part. But to me, the climax was the block party. That's just me.
Here's the thing that I thought should have, now if they were going to make Condola pregnant, okay, I'm gonna give you that. But make Issa stay true to who she is. Baby, at one of the meetups with Nathan, which if you that committed to Lawrence, was a way too many times for my taste, but that's a whole nother story. He should have bent her over one of them boxes or one of them tables, banged her out, and she simultaneously should have been able to say, "Damn, I'm late." That would have been something that everybody would have been like, "Damn."
Because honestly, earlier on in the season, when she had that whole mishap with TSA Bay, I said, "Don't let Issa come up pregnant." I was like, "Please don't let
give us something." Exactly, and that would have been perfect too. Because remember, Lawrence met TSA Bay, and Lawrence looked at him and clowned him like, "Oh, that's what you doing? You fucking with niggas like that?" And if it would have came out that she was pregnant by TSA Bay, I still think it would have been better with Nathan. Give us something that we would not have, that we would have been like, "Oh shit, oh fuck," because that's what you.
I really feel like, I feel like that could have been. That would have been a plot twist for your ass.
Mm-hmm. Because now if you just gonna make Condola pregnant, because now both of them. Well, watch this. Make Molly pregnant. The way her and Andrew be knocking it down, and Andrew wanting to break up with her.
And let me tell you something.
Andrew want to break up with her, and Molly is pregnant now. And you know Molly don't want no parts of no babies. And I feel like Andrew probably would have wanted to keep the baby. And then that could have been like a whole, okay, if we're gonna stay together if we have this baby, or that could have been a whole storyline behind the breakup and how they do that. Like, there's so many ways that they could have taken that. Watch this. Now, if I'm being real messy, this is gonna be way out of left field, and y'all gonna say that's a little too far-fetched, L Teddy, but I'm gonna work it anyway. How about make it where Derek cheated on Tiffany with Kelly, and that actually was Kelly's, but she was already pregnant, so that ends that argument. But something, out of the ordinary. I don't know. I don't know. Don't give me regular. You
I
know what
would
I'm
have
saying?
loved. I would have loved to have seen. Now, I would have loved to have seen Molly pop up pregnant because
That would
now
have been a
what we
whole different.
Uh-huh.
Right after she find out, he said, "Oh, I don't want to be with you no more." She come up pregnant. What you gonna do now, girl? What you gonna do now, Andrew?
Right. And they kind of excuse me, y'all, I had to put my socks on. And it's like they kind of use that storyline up in an unnecessary way because now it would be redundant if anybody else pops up pregnant at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Because, like you said, little baby, that would have been a lesson for Molly because that would have changed, Molly's whole outlook on everything. Okay, what are you going to do now, Molly? Because Molly had that whole career that, or as Alexander Rogers would say, career. I love Alexander Rogers. He say that for Mara Negra. But she has this whole career thing going on, and she do not want to interrupt what's going on with her career. And you could tell at this point, Andrew doesn't want to permanently be attached to Molly. So making Molly pregnant would have been a whole thing. Making Issa pregnant by Nathan or TSA Bay would have been a whole thing too, because it would have took you right back to season 1 where you'd be like, really, Issa? I thought you had changed. And now you don't went all the way back to that. Do you know how the internet would have been broken last night if one of those two things would have happened? Just imagine.
Would have been here would have been wait a minute, hold on. Here's the best climax. We still keep the block party as the finale, right? I mean, as the but if the last scene, and this is very a la Moesha, the last scene that we see is Molly, Issa, and Condola taking a pregnancy test, but we don't know what the results are. So Molly and Issa them fell out. Tiffany is acting a fool at the damn block party. And the last thing we see is all three of them taking a pregnancy test, but we don't know who's positive. Now that would have been a fucking finale for your ass.
Well, what about this? What about the fact that because at the block party, Issa and Lawrence were not together anymore.
Right.
They were not back together. But I would have loved to have seen maybe if the fight didn't happen. But I would have loved to have seen Issa getting bit over one of those concession stands and Lawrence coming in town trying to make it to the block party because, he wanted to be there for her. And him, yelling, hey, East, I wanted to make sure I came, and him rolling up on them.
No.
Wrestling.
I wouldn't have wanted to see that. No. You would have wanted to see that. Because you just want to see Nathan or Lawrence's ass.
Or Amal. I'll take Amal as well. Mm-hmm. There's no shortage of menses on this show, which I love. Hello. And every woman across the Fruited Plains will agree. That is one of the things you love about Insecure. The collection of beautiful black men.
There are some beautiful men in this.
And the sex.
Mm-hmm. So, where the hell is LaToya?
They have a whole website.
I know. Where the hell is LaToya?
They need to have a spinoff now. What she should have did was she should have went to HBO and said, listen, give me an hour. I'll do 45 minutes of Insecure, and the last 15 minutes will be a 10 to 12 minute, spot with Where's LaToya. And we would have got our whole life.
Hell yeah.
The entirety of our lives. Because I do think, and this is something that people have been saying since season 1, that the 30-minute episodes do not give you enough time to develop some stories, especially when the characters are as layered as the characters are on this show. And that's been a prevailing critique of the show from season 1.
Yeah. I've never liked the 30-minute. Never liked the 30-minute. They made Final Latoya a podcast on Spotify. I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look that up. But anyway, y'all, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. You've heard El Teddy yell at me for a whole hour and 30 minutes.
Wait, what?
And tell me how wrong I am.
But still get you your money and your coinage.
And tell me, I knew he was gonna say that shit.
I still earned your. You're welcome. I worked hard for your money.
Tell me how wrong I am.
I worked hard for you.
But I want to thank y'all so much. I want to thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate y'all.
Y'all see how she do me. I should go live on my channel right after this.
Go ahead and go live. Hey, Chantel, how you doing, baby? But seriously, though, thank y'all for coming through. We really enjoyed the show. I hate that we have to. I really hate that I have to wait another year, even though I wasn't crazy about.
But it might be longer than a year because y'all know how Easter be.
Right. I really hate that we have to wait however long we're gonna have to wait, child. But what I will say is that I love Issa. I have the utmost respect for Issa Rae, her production team, her writing team. They bring us quality year after year after year. It was renewed for season 5, so I can't wait to see what they give us. And thank y'all for 2 years because of COVID. You know, well, they can be writing shit. They can't be because they don't film yet anyway.
I am supposed to do Sexy Monday. I might read these pieces.
That's right. You are supposed to be doing Sexy Monday. I forgot.
I appreciate that every episode she always threw something in there that pointed back to her YouTube days. She always gave something always pointed back to the YouTube day. My favorite being It's So Cold in the D, because It's So Cold in the D is one of the greatest music videos and songs in the history of YouTube. I'm just saying. Saying you've never heard It's So Cold in the D is like saying you've never heard Splackavelli. Just saying.
Well, I haven't ever heard Splackavelli until today.
But you heard It's So Cold in the D.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay. How the fuck we supposed to keep peace?
Anyway. What was I going to say? Oh, don't forget to join us tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's going to be on El Teddy's channel or Abby's channel, but we will be doing a live discussion of Blood and Water, and we will all drop our final episode reviews. We've been kind of holding off because we wanted to do a live review. The Netflix watch party thing, we're going to have to try to figure that out we're going to try to get that together, but I think it's a good idea. We just got to figure it out, you guys, because we don't want to get flagged for showing the show through YouTube, but we got to figure out a way to do it. But we're going to do our live discussion tomorrow. It's either going, like I said, it's either going to be on El Teddy's channel or Ebby's, but be on the lookout for it. Thank you guys for coming through. God bless you. Good night. Did we see the twins in every episode? What twins? No, I didn't see the twins in every episode. Oh, okay. I'm hitting the button. Hit the button.